Have you ever noticed that dogs have some pretty weird habits? They scratch the ground after doing their business, suddenly sprint around the house like crazy, and even chase their own tails. But have you ever wondered why? Believe it or not, science has the answers. Today we're diving into 15 fascinating dog facts, all backed by real research. And stick around, because the last one will completely change the way you see your furry friend. You know that adorable moment when your dog stretches after seeing you? Well, it might mean a lot more than you think. So smash that like button, subscribe, and let's uncover the truth behind your dog's quirks. 1. Why do dogs scratch the ground after doing their business? Have you ever watched your dog furiously scratch the ground right after pooping or peeing? It might seem random, but up to 80% of dogs do this, and there's actually a smart reason behind it. This habit comes from their wild ancestors, like wolves and foxes, who use this technique to mark their territory and send a message to other animals. But here's the real secret. Dogs have special scent glands in their paws that release pheromones, chemical signals that only other dogs can pick up. By scratching the ground, they're not just making a mess. They're spreading their chemical business card saying, "This spot is taken." A study from the University of Bristol found that dogs use both scent and visual cues to communicate. So those scratches in the dirt, they reinforce the message, making it even clearer to other dogs. And there's more. Some experts suggest this habit also helps relieve tension or anxiety. So if your pup is an over-the-top digger, it might be time to add more playtime and activities to their routine. 2. Why do dogs chase their own tails? Who hasn't laughed watching a dog spin around in circles, desperately trying to catch its own tail? But did you know that around 60% of puppies do this just for fun, while in adult dogs, it could be a sign of something more serious? For puppies, tail chasing is simply a way to explore their own bodies. They're still figuring out that the tail is actually part of them. But in adults, it's a different story. If it happens occasionally, it's usually just playfulness or excess energy, but when it's frequent, it could be a sign of boredom, stress, or even obsessive behavior. A study from the University of Helsinki found that dogs living in low-stimulation environments are up to 40% more likely to develop this habit compulsively. Additionally, medical issues like allergies, tail irritation, or even parasites can make a dog feel uncomfortable, leading them to try to fix the problem by biting their own tail. If your dog does this all the time, consider adding more activities to their routine, or, in extreme cases, consult a vet to rule out any health issues. 3. Why do dogs get the zoomies? Ever seen your dog suddenly take off running like a tiny furry rocket? Congratulations! You've just witnessed zoomies, or in technical terms, frenetic random activity periods, FRAPs. But don't worry, this behavior is completely normal. According to veterinarians, over 70% of dogs experience zoomies, especially when they're puppies or young adults. This happens because dogs build up energy throughout the day and need to release it all at once. The result? They go into turbo mode, racing around and jumping like crazy. Common zoomie triggers include after a bath, before bedtime, or when they're super excited. A study from Tufts University suggests that zoomies help dogs relieve stress and stay mentally balanced. Heads up! If your dog gets zoomies constantly indoors, it might mean they need more exercise, walks, and playtime. After all, a tired dog is a happy dog. 4. Why do dogs jump on people to greet them? You walk through the door and before you can even say hi, boom! Your dog launches at you like a rocket. But did you know this behavior comes from their wild instincts? In the wild, wolf pups lick adult wolves' faces to ask for food and attention. Since domestic dogs can't always reach our faces, they jump to get closer and show affection. Plus, jumping is often just pure excitement. Seeing their owner is the best part of their day, and they just can't contain their happiness. Want to stop the jumping? The trick is positive reinforcement. According to canine behavior experts, ignoring the dog when they jump and only giving attention when all four paws are on the ground can help break the habit. 5. Why do dogs eat poop? Yes, it's one of the grossest habits, but it's more common than you think. This behavior is called coprophagia, and it can have several causes. In puppies, it's just a phase of exploration. They use their mouths to discover the world. In adult dogs, it might be linked to nutritional deficiencies, boredom, or even ancient survival instincts. Wild wolves sometimes eat feces to keep their environment clean and avoid attracting predators. Now, here's a weird fact. A study from the University of California found that 16% of dogs eat poop regularly, and 85% prefer fresh poop that's less than 2 days old. Yes, it's disgusting, but it's science. If your dog has this habit, a balanced diet, mental stimulation, and keeping the area clean can help reduce it. If it continues, consulting a vet might be a good idea. 6. Why do dogs sleep belly up? If your dog sleeps belly up, paws in the air, congratulations! That means they trust you completely. A dog's belly is one of its most vulnerable areas. In the wild, no animal would expose their belly unless they felt 100% safe. But there's also a practical reason. Sleeping in this position helps regulate body temperature. Since dogs have less fur on their belly, lying like this allows heat to escape more easily, keeping them cool. A University of British Columbia study found that dogs who sleep belly up tend to have a stronger bond with their owners and live in peaceful environments. So, if your dog sleeps like this near you, there's no doubt about it. They feel completely safe with you. 7. Why do dogs follow their owners everywhere? If your dog follows you everywhere, even to the bathroom, don't worry. This is all about their pack instinct. Dogs evolved from wolves, who live in groups and follow the pack leader. To your dog, you are the leader, so they feel the need to stay close to you at all times. However, this behavior can also signal a problem separation anxiety. According to a University of Pennsylvania study, about 14% of dogs suffer from severe anxiety when left alone. If your dog gets stressed when you leave the house, training and interactive toys can help them feel more independent. Tip: if your dog follows you everywhere, try rewarding them when they stay calm and relaxed away from you. This helps them build confidence. 8. Why do dogs lick people's feet? If your dog has a habit of licking your feet, they're not just being cute or weird, they might be analyzing you. Dogs have an incredible sense of smell and can detect pheromones and salts in human sweat, which can be irresistible to them. Since feet have a lot of sweat glands, they release chemical signals that your dog can pick up. Plus, licking feet can mean affection, respect, or submission, and attention-seeking because they know you'll react. A University of Sao Paulo study found that dogs can detect emotional changes in their owners just by smelling their sweat. So if your dog is licking your feet, they might be trying to figure out how you're feeling. 9. Why do dogs nibble their owner's hands during petting? If your dog loves to gently nibble your hands while being petted, it's actually a sign of affection and excitement. This behavior starts in puppyhood, when dogs play bite each other to strengthen their social bonds and learn bite inhibition, a crucial skill for gentle play. Dogs that were well socialized as puppies often carry this habit into their interactions with humans. But be careful. If your dog nibbles too hard, it's best to redirect their energy to appropriate chew toys. According to dog trainers, this is the best way to prevent the habit from becoming excessive. 10. Why do dogs bark at nothing? Has your dog ever started barking at literally nothing, leaving you wondering if they saw a ghost? The truth is, dogs have superpowered senses, especially their hearing and smell. They can detect high-frequency sounds, distant scents, and even subtle vibrations, things that are completely undetectable to humans. Dogs can hear up to 65,000 Hz, while humans max out at 20,000 Hz. This means they might be reacting to things we can't hear, like electronic devices, tiny rodents, or even distant thunder. If the barking becomes too frequent, it could be a sign of anxiety or attention-seeking. Try to identify what's triggering it and adjust their environment if needed. 11. Why do dogs eat dirt? It may seem weird, but many dogs love eating dirt. And believe it or not, there might be a real reason behind it. Some experts believe dogs are trying to get essential minerals from the soil if they have a nutritional deficiency. Others suggest it could be a way to soothe digestive issues, like acid reflux or mild gastritis. But be careful. eating dirt can be dangerous, as the soil may contain parasites, fungi, or toxic substances. If your dog does this frequently, it's a good idea to check their diet and consult a vet. 12. Why do dogs sit with their backs to their owners? If your dog sits with their back to you, don't feel ignored. In fact, this is one of the biggest signs of trust. In dog body language, turning their back means I don't need to stay on high alert around you. It shows that they feel safe enough to let their guard down. Some dogs also do this as a way to protect their owners, keeping their eyes on the surroundings. A study from Azabu University in Japan found that dogs who trust their owners more have higher levels of oxytocin, the love hormone. So if your dog does this, it's because they truly trust you. 13. Why do dogs drag their butts on the floor? It might look funny, but your dog isn't trying to be silly. This behavior usually signals discomfort or irritation in the anal area. The most common causes include inflamed or full anal glands, which may need to be expressed, intestinal parasites like tapeworms, allergies, or skin irritation. According to veterinarians, about 15% of dogs develop anal gland issues at some point, which can lead to this scooting behavior. If your dog does this often, it's best to visit the vet to rule out any serious problems. 14. Why do dogs love sunbathing? If you've ever seen your dog lying in the sun like they're charging their batteries, they're actually doing something super healthy. Sun exposure helps produce vitamin D, essential for strong bones and a healthy immune system. It also helps relax muscles and relieve joint pain, especially in older dogs. Plus, it boosts mood, as sunlight increases serotonin, the happiness hormone. Warning! Just like humans, dogs can suffer from heat stroke and sunburns. Always make sure they have shade and fresh water on hot days. 15. Why do dogs stretch when they see their owners? If your dog does a big exaggerated stretch every time they see you, they're not just waking up. This is actually a sign of affection and connection. This movement is called a playbow, and it means your dog is relaxed, happy, and ready to interact. It's almost like they're saying, "I'm so happy to see you. Let's play." A study from Kyoto University found that dogs who do this frequently tend to have stronger bonds with their owners and show more excitement in social interactions. So next time your dog does this, send some positive energy back. So, how many of these behaviors does your dog have? Now that you understand what's going on in their mind, your bond with them will only grow stronger. If you enjoyed these fun facts, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an amazing dog video. And now here's a question for you. Did you know that dogs see the world completely differently than humans? Click the next video on the screen and find out the truth about dog vision.